All right, guys, here we are to talk about iZombie Season 3, Episode 6. What'd you think about this episode?
I had a migraine going on during this episode, so I didn't really write notes until later.
This episode caused me a migraine. Might have been the episode.
The main thing was, like, it's another big wasted opportunity for, like...
It was such a waste.
Could be happening.
So you had all these cool things you could do with Blaine actually having his memory back. And what did they do? They squander it during a shitty conversation. And it was telegraphed. It was bad. So she goes, like... Ravi tells Peyton, I heard from one of his old running buddies that he actually has his memory. Well, you should have just kept that to yourself. Fuck you, something, something, something. But then she goes, because, it's noodling around in her brain, and she's Ravi told me something interesting today. He said...
weird, right?
He said that, you still had your memory. And she's like, well, wouldn't matter, even if you did, Where we are now is where we are. And I'm like, God damn it, this can't work. This can't work.
Not like this.
Can't
Not
work.
Like this.
And then you see him, go, and, a little smile to the side. I'm like, oh, my God, no. And then what do? They proceed to ruin anything that could have been good ever.
Yeah.
And then, but even if we think about this, now you chart back, his memory was actually only gone for, a day.
Yep.
Because that's how long, Major's memory was gone. Maybe they have a little bit of difference between patients. But how long did it seem like that didn't make any sense?
So
his memory was gone for easily a month, it seemed.
Well, he was faking it.
No, but some of the things that he was faking are so dumb. It's one of those things where,
yes.
Let's just retcon that and say this. That couldn't have been what they meant when it was happening because it
so
doesn't make any sense.
Part of me really wants to go back and, check what actually happens in every episode and be like, if Blaine was faking, what the fuck, or something like that. But we don't have the energy to actually go do that. But no, there were times where he was faking it in a way that directly, hurt him or something like that.
Because at what point would he have been like, all right, this is my decision. I'm going to be doing this.
Right.
Where did that actually click over? Because what? And you could argue that he had his wherewithal of his normal self when he did his little midnight mission killing people in the thing. But I don't even remember him ever possessing that skill to begin with.
And some of that stuff, to me, and honestly, I don't fuck. There's so many things wrong with this, I don't even know where to start. That particular point, sometimes people show up and they don't know who they are, they don't have any memory or whatever, but you sit them down in front of a piano and they can play, and they're like, what the fuck, how can I play piano? So I thought that it was that sort of thing, and that might be cool because he has all these things where he's like, holy shit, how do I...
It is interesting. There's that theory where if you don't know you can't do something, you can do it.
That's not it at all. It's that you have
no. But do you know that thing? So he has no reason to believe.
If that's a theory, then that's wrong.
There's all these people have broken records.
Don't tell me about scientists.
If you tell somebody that the fastest you could run a mile is the world record is 5 minutes or something, and then someone will break that, but the previous record may have been 6 minutes or something.
Sure.
Just people knowing something is possible, whether it is or not, they can do more things.
People can push themselves harder because they're targeting one thing instead of another.
Mm-hmm.
People, whatever.
So that was my it's well, he doesn't know he's not an assassin because he doesn't know who he is. So maybe he thinks he can.
But you still need to be able to do stuff. You can't
not
just
on TV.
You can't just do whatever because
nothing
you want
in this
to.
show makes sense. So
okay.
I had no reason to believe that that's not exactly how it works.
I like my assessment.
No.
Better.
No pianos were played during this except for him, who actually plays piano all the time.
I think he had, and that would have been really cool if there were parts of his. Okay, so my main issue with this, believe it or not, is that if Blaine was so good, if he was so awesome at this, if he could sit down in front of his father with all the baggage that they had and still play it off oh, sorry, sir, and just act like he doesn't know his own dad or whatever, if he was that much of a master, why doesn't he say, I just got injected a few days ago. I'm not going to be able to keep this up or whatever the fuck. I'll just pretend that the new injection must have brought back my memory. And it's been 2 days, and I'm lying about the last 2 days.
But what is his end game? Just think about this. So this is Blaine. I'm a rat bastard. I'm king of the shitheels.
Yes.
And he has $32 million in the bank, which I think is his end game. So he had to at least have been weighing in his head that Peyton was worth more than $32 million. And if that were true, why would you risk it at all?
Yes,
and if that wasn't true,
point, all right.
Why would he give it back? Even if he could right there be like,
yes.
I got 32. Well, why wouldn't he put it somewhere else? Why wouldn't he withdraw some, hide it somewhere, do anything with it?
All things being equal, though, why not just pretend that his memory just came back? Even if he,
Oh no, of course.
even if
but
he has to say that I have my memory to come clean because of some emotional bullshit with Peyton or some bullshit writing storyline thing, it bothered me so much that wasn't the angle that happened or something like that.
But that, like, you're explaining how he should have come forward with knowing it. Mine is
I
saying
know.
he couldn't possibly have not had his, like, had his memory, because why would he have behaved
No.
in that manner?
A lot of his behavior does not make sense at all, and I'm totally fine with all that being a fucking farce and like horribleness or something like that.
I just don't understand how Blaine, being Blaine, wouldn't have done better things to protect his assets.
Right.
The thing he did worked
He
so
could
much,
not-
like whole seasons,
Yeah.
to get.
He could not have simultaneously have been that good at faking it and that bad at like fucking himself over while faking it or
Yeah.
whatever, right? It doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. Oh god. So again, though, the main issue is that there's so much opportunity here for awesome shit to happen. He could have-
Squandered opportunity.
Yeah, no, like an opportunity that was not like realized. So like he could have been like saying something or reacting to something. Someone could have tried to trick him, and he could have like played it off and been like, "No, there's a lot of guys named." But like when Ravi says there's a lot of guys named John, I thought there was gonna be like a thing.
How dumb
Where
was
they were
that
gonna,
one?
like,
Like,
trap
I
him.
don't know about your friend circles, but I only know one guy named John.
That I just think
John's the most common name in the world.
John is the stereotypical common name. So I feel like that was like a humorous beat, but it didn't like land right or something.
It was just very
It didn't
strange.
make sense at all.
Oh God!
but
why not
there's
kill
so many-
Major? Like he could have been like,
Yeah.
he just took him out of the equation. He could have, while he had no memory, been like, "Come on, bud, come with me. I'm your friend," and then just murked him.
Sure. To like cover it up. So
Yeah,
never
and that
known
would have been way
memory
better.
comes back.
Cause one
Yeah,
less
'cause
Scooby Gang member, a more interesting thing. They could have found out during that thing. Like there could have been, he could have tied him up. He could have didn't have to kill him. He could have put him in the basement.
Yeah.
And then like he's like, "Your memories are coming back, aren't they? Well, mine did too. Blaine, you son of a bitch. Yeah, I'm the best there ever was."
I'm the best there's ever been.
Plays a fiddle.
And
And that would be great because they're good about those musical intros.
That's horrible. I love it. No,
But it's
yeah,
better than what they did
you
by
could have
so much.
no, you could have like called back to all the other scenes with them and all the stuff. Like, hey, just like old times, Major. And he's like, what? And the freezer door slams shut or whatever. Would have been this awesome thing. No, there's so much like I don't know. You could have done a lot of awesome things. I think that they're leaning into this like love angle and acting like that's enough of a thing, which is really upsetting to
But
me.
like I had mentioned earlier, he did give up $32 million, potentially just because he likes this girl.
Yeah.
And do you think this is like, is a love triangle actually going to happen now, or is he dead to her? Do you think that Ravi now has a chance again? Do you think that Blaine still has an opportunity that he could swoop in? Like, again, if you say, "I gave up everything for you," is almost true, because he gave up his old self, literally, to
Yeah.
be a new person just for her.
Right.
Do I think he deserves her? No. I also don't like her, so yeah.
So maybe she deserves him. It's like, what?
Something about her, I don't know. She has a face that's weird looking.
I've never liked her either, and I haven't said anything because I don't want to be accused of being sexist.
Why would that be sexist?
Because I don't like a girl.
I don't like Major either. He's a guy. I just hate everybody.
It's white privilege, sir. I don't know.
They are both white, and I hate them. Maybe I'm racist.
Maybe I'm racist this whole time. I didn't know. Hate white
I
people.
like Clive.
Yeah, I like Clive. I like Ravi. like Liv's not white.
Well, Liv's not, I was going to say, she's not white either. She's pale as fuck.
She's something else. She's, a
She's
whole different-
albino.
It's a whole different thing. The Max Rager guy was probably something. All right.
Filipino.
No, I can't get over how this feels like that moment, and I keep mentioning it like indirectly, so I'll just say, like in Heroes, when he gets his powers back again for like the second time, and I'm like, the fuck am I
Yeah.
watching? Like this season was supposed to be, right? Like, oh, does Blaine remember? Does he not? Does Major remember? Does he forget? Does he, does he not? Liv and Major are like falling in love again, but now he's human. Like, what's happening? And they're
Yeah.
restarting the relationship, right? And then Ravi's like, I'm telling you, Blaine's not good for you. And Blaine's like, oh, really? Is it? And like makes a look, and you're like, wait, does he remember? Oh shit! It could be episodes of this like thick, awesome layering, right? And they just smashed it all. They smashed it all to bits.
Yeah.
Major's like, I remember everything. Kisses Liv, and then fucking, everything's just done. Everything's just over, and we're halfway through the season. And I feel like it's such a why did we even set all these things up? Why was there even all this
No,
drama?
there was no reason. There could have been great Ravi bits where he's like staking him out, trying to make him slip up, and then
Yeah.
fighting and doing things.
I know something's wrong, and then he's like Dexter, like the garage opens and he's standing there, and he's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" He's like, "Oh fuck!" Runs away, and he's like, "Ravi, man, listen, I know I stole your girl or whatever you want to call it, but just chill or whatever." He's like, "I know you're faking it," and he's like, "If I was faking it, would it?" And they do all the fucking yeah, oh,
It could have been so good. Instead, it was so bad.
Like this was enough material to work out for this season.
For the rest of the season.
You could have
But
like
now you have
done
bullshit
a thing.
where they stole the serum.
Because then like because not that this feels like a finale, but this sequence of events would have been what would be the finale.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute, the cure does work. Blaine, you're a son of a bitch. Major, oh my god, are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay, and I remember everything.
And then you'd have
where's
the
the
stuff
cure?
stolen.
Oh shit, and all
Exactly.
that stuff happens, and then you're like, fuck. Not now, unless they're going to do something better, but they're not. Oh.
Do you think there's going to be a cool play out where how Major explained, because you thought that lady might use
I would
that
say, we're like leading into the end.
as a weapon.
Yeah.
But her weapon, only would it really work knowing that it would take away your memory, is how he explained it. But the
Yeah.
idea that memory won't go away, do you think she's going to stab this guy and be like, oh, I'm a human, and then she'll just like kill him or something?
That's, I think that's that's one of the options when I said that it might be like a weapon, is that she can turn him human and then kill him because she's a zombie and he's a human now or whatever.
Yeah.
But also she could have just slipped it to him and then run away, relying on the memory loss that he won't come find
That's
her or
more
whatever.
what I was thinking.
Yeah. And now that won't be the case.
No.
There's a whole can of worms here. I don't know if I'll even like that character or give a shit about her.
Couldn't care
anymore.
less about her. They've built her up so high, and I'm like, why though? It
She's
made a
gonna
little
be
bit
a
of
part of
sense
this now.
when Major might have been like, that might have been his love interest, but now that
Right.
that's not going to happen,
Yeah.
she's just like this other woman that you care about enough to give the only cure that would have given your girlfriend, but now it's gone because fuck you. Like,
Well, and I'm really triggered. I'm really worried about how this whole thing is gonna go, because it ends with her saying "to who,"
yeah,
and then he's gonna be like, "Oh, to this chick I tracked down that I felt bad because she's a zombie hooker and like I didn't want to kill her," and she's gonna be all like jealous or like upset that like not jealous. What's the word? We're like, "Oh, you gave it to her instead of me," like you were just saying
angry.
or whatever.
Word's angry.
But there's more nuanced Shakespearean term. But like
Bitchy. The word's bitchy.
cunt. No, but like for no reason, because it's not like, wait, no, that was like weeks ago or days ago or something, and it was for a whole different reason, and I thought we had 17, like all these logical reasons.
Yeah.
But she'll feel slighted, she'll feel like
Of
hurt
course.
that like he would do this and choose her over him. It's like, how would you, that was not the choice he was making at the time. I'm just angry preemptively
So
at
let
what's
me-
gonna happen. I think.
Let me just switch gears for a second, because I think I either missed something or just don't understand something.
Great.
So the recipe that Liv has, that Ravi kept saying, yeah, never mind ingredients, that was for a memory
Yep.
pit,
that
like juice or whatever?
That's the memory juice. Yes.
That's the blue juice
That's
that
the
makes you have a
blue
longer
juice.
memory, right?
Well,
a
longer visions.
Longer vision.
Yeah, better visions.
Why the hell is Blaine making that? Like, what could he possibly get from that?
I'm glad you so like Blaine's old Blaine again. He's in the brain business, I think, still, or is he?
Yeah, he still is.
Okay, I was gonna say. Well, he ended up back into it because he took it over from them and kicked them out or whatever. Right.
Yeah.
So now he's gonna offer a specialty product where there's these awesome visions, and they're gonna last even longer. It's the best brains on the market. Oh my god. Do you want to rock climb for more than just half a second? I got you, bro. Don't worry about it. You want to do this? You want to do that? You want to do this? You want to do that? Ah,
I guess.
awesome brains.
But not being able to control what the memory is, I don't even know like why I would want that.
It's a thing for the show. It's a thing.
I guess.
Like
Just
he's gonna
picture it
offer
like,
the
I
brain.
want an astronaut's brain.
Yeah.
And I just get it like a picture of him like, oh, shouldn't have all those prunes. Oh.
I was just gonna say, and then it's the astronaut taking the dump or something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah. I think like we just have to assume that overall, like you can like either like the memories that are more distinct, like stand out more, or you can trigger them more easily by like watching Apollo 13 over and over again and trigger
Maybe.
some bullshit. We have to assume to some degree that you can intentionally trigger them. Although Liv said that these dominatrix visions were coming fast and furious and even without triggers or whatever. So I was like, oh.
Huh. Blue juice brain.
I don't like Blue Juice Brain. Blue Juice Brain feels like people losing their superpowers for the third time on the heroes.
Did you have a problem with him even being able to make that thing? So let alone just being able to find the ingredients. It wasn't it wasn't directions. It was the ingredient list. It didn't say how much of each thing. I don't think he asked for the ingredients to make one batch. Where he's like, I need 6 milliliters of this, 1 milliliter. Like, he just asked for the items.
Okay.
In whatever item denominations they come in,
I
quarts,
thought-
pounds,
yeah.
liters, whatever.
I thought you were asking, did I have a problem with Ravi being able to do it? And I was going to be like, kind of, whatever the fuck. Because he just had a brain like in an old school science fiction movie, from like the 30s or whatever, later. Or just like a brain in like a tube with like bubbles and stuff. And I was like, what the fuck? That's crazy. But
so
yes,
if you had a problem with the scientist doing it, are you saying the uneducated idiot who didn't have the exact amounts you'd have a problem with too?
Blaine's pretty clever.
Being clever,
He
like
probably
if
Googled
you
something.
gave me all the ingredients in a bag of chips,
Ooh.
but didn't tell me of what ratio, there's no way my chips are coming out like chips. Like,
oh, I thought you meant all the ingredients to make brain, blue juice and a bag of chips. And I'm just picturing you,
no, I was trying
eating
to think of something
Doritos
simple.
and like Googling whatever.
Or like
no.
the ingredients to make a cake. If you're like, there's flour, there's eggs, I wouldn't like, what? How much trial and error would it take before that would
Yes.
work?
I totally understand that. However, on this show, he has a Bunsen burner, and he's pouring in blue food coloring, and he's made
I feel
the brain
like he
juice.
could have the items to like, I have beakers and I have this and that, because like I don't know what it takes to embalm, but I'm sure.
Yeah, he knows all
you could have a
about.
glass
He knows
jar.
all about stuff, man. He's been.
It's the idea of just having what items are in something, but not knowing the parts.
Yes.
Like that used to always drive me nuts. There's an episode of every sitcom in the world where someone goes like, "This is my grandma's favorite blah blah." Oh, what's the recipe? I love this. I'm not telling you. And the person needs to goes, I taste paprika, and they're just writing down all the things in it, and I'm like, just because you know what's in something doesn't mean you know the proper amounts, and that's so vital.
You can figure that out later, though.
I don't think you could, especially
think
with
you can.
something where it's like this is brain juice, and maybe,
problem
and this
with
would make
this-
me happy, is if he makes something that's close, not the same, and it does something different.
Something crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, it makes the memories. That would be awesome. I would actually love that. I like that. That makes me so happy that I feel like there's no way it's gonna happen. It's just gonna be the
100% no.
exact same.
Yeah.
Okay, but yes. No, I agree. I think certain, like reasonably, none of this makes sense at all.
Of
So
course
I have
not.
so I have to swich myself into like non-reasonable mode and
Because you
start
said it
to
before, where it's like you can
believe
bite any
things.
part of the brain, and that holds all the memories.
I don't even. Well, they're definitely not evenly distributed in the entire brain, and they're definitely
Certainly not.
Well, I mean, we know we think that there might be like redundancies and neurons might form in different ways in different areas or whatever the fuck, but it's definitely not just evenly split where you can just eat a spoonful. The fucking culinary montage in this one too was another disappointment. She eats so little brain and so much other stuff that must just pass through her body undigested and get shat out. That's not a good image.
And
I don't
she,
want that image in
I
my
don't even
head.
understand why they do it, because we've gone through painstaking details to tell us that she only tastes super hot.
Yeah.
And is it just a texture thing? Because like, why is there other food at all?
Yeah.
I don't know.
There was a big thing here about Major eating the eating
Yeah,
the ice cream
and I
and
kind of
stuff.
loved that,
That's
and
very
I
funny.
wanted to do it myself.
Oh, yeah, it inspired me
Yeah,
to eat a gallon of ice cream.
got the diabetes.
Is that literally everything?
There's not
I gave
like
it to
for
someone.
what this
Who?
episode is. It's not a crazy amount of things happening. It's just like, let me unpack that in the worst way possible.
No, I was super disappointed. Like I was expecting to be disappointed. I thought that it would happen later, and I thought that it would be like the only reason they would do this is because they believe whatever they're about to do with this show is better than what we wrote in our heads in the last couple of
And that's
episodes.
just not true.
I don't
When,
think that's
Peyton comes by originally, and that's how Ravi tells her that thing. She's coming by for information, and they drop again what we said in the last episode. Was like that case closed really quick. Yeah, he just gave up,
Oh.
blah blah. And the way she phrased something made me think like there must be more to that case.
Yeah.
And
What'd
it
she
must be
say?
going to come back. She said something like oh yeah, he just gave up on it. And she's like, I hardcored him or something like I forget me on my full court press or some
we
bullshit.
didn't talk about Liv's brain this episode.
Yeah, Liv was
Oh
a
my
DJ bitch brain
She was like a
bumbling idiot.
horrible scammer, like Instagram
Bimbo.
model type
Yeah.
girl or whatever. Like she was some weird, like I hated it. And there was one moment where like I can't even describe the gamut of emotions that like it like when they're in the club and it like cuts to her like DJing or whatever. It literally I was like, what is happening? Fuck!
And like
it was, like,
chugging
so bad.
vodka.
Yeah, but like it was so like just like the noises that play and the camera angle and like her like stance and stuff. It was so I was like, oh god, I'm so embarrassed for you.
But it was kind of like the two guys fighting the hacker on the one computer. Like he was sliding some things and she was doing some things.
I think for DJing that's actually possible.
Not that it's not possible, but what branched into it was he's like, I DJ. She's like, oh, you DJ? And then like I thought it would be him DJing or
Let's
something.
go DJ. Yeah, she was like, oh my god, let's DJ.
Yeah.
I don't even know because so much of this we've criticized this before. Where like the people with like she gets not just the personality traits, but like the literal like things from the people.
Yeah.
So she's because she said like several times like she's been to that club before or something like that, and I'm like, you haven't been to this club, right? The
Or
person
has she?
I don't know. I thought it was the person whose brain she had went to. I don't know if we've been introduced to a club before.
I don't know. Well,
What
we
the
never
fuck's
have. But
going
who
on?
knows if she went to 80s night or the other one went to 80s night? It's
Or-
weird.
Or is
Because
she just
to say
the
I've
kind
been
of,
to this club, but not
Yeah.
say I've DJ'd at this club is weird. You recognize me, right? Like is like what?
Well, and are those just things that girls like that say, whether they've been to the club before or not, and she's picking
I
up
don't
on
know.
that? Is it like a subtle thing that I was just going over my head?
I thought it was very strange when it was like flashed to her just like in the back room looking for more vodka. I'm like, did you just walk away from them? Did no one follow you? Did no one say you can't be back there? What are you doing? And you find the owner. Like
Whole thing very weird, sloppy, messy, crappy, right? The whole
as it's
case.
been a trend, most of
Pathetic.
the cases have gotten worse
Yeah,
and worse.
The pathetic nice guy, the baseball, the roommate, etc. Right? Very much
Yeah.
like, okay.
No, it was lame. The roommate killed her because she sold her baseball. Who gives a shit?
Hey, man, that would happen if I saw one of your Ninja Turtles.
I would just kill you.
That's what we just said.
Yeah, but I wouldn't do a whole weird thing. I'd be like, I murdered him. Yep, let me off. He touched my turtles.
Judge, you don't understand. It's a set of 4. He sold 1. What am I supposed to do?
No, just very it's very weird. Like that they seem like such a bad combination anyway. Like why would this straight laced person even put up with this for long? Because once you've been late with rent a couple times, you think you just be like, get out, you're done.
Well, and that was the I don't know. They set that up as if I have no emotional investment whatsoever in the case.
No, or the characters, or like, nope. That's
Um,
pretty much what
there-
happens.
There's a little like, well, this will be our last case. Oh, are you sure?
Yeah,
I sure you don't want to stay dead for a few more years. I'm gonna get captain. And it's like, all that
I'm
stuff.
good.
Yeah, good times. And she's all like, I can't wait to not be a zombie.
But like what? It's all been memory based. So like I'm afraid of losing my memories. Oh, this and that and the other thing. If being dead was that bad, you would just do it.
I know. And
If-
the fact
if-
that they got
it's
stolen like
because
earlier that
If
day.
they played up the part, if it wasn't about her, if they played up the fact like I'm helping people, I'm needed until this thing. There's a zombie team 6 over here that I have to fight. There's all this shit. I like Max Rager. I've dealt with them, but I have this now. I can't be a human yet. I would have liked that a lot better than like okay, my memories won't leave. I'm okay.
A personal, like, selfish
Yeah.
thing. Because honestly, yeah, so much time has been devoted to this buildup of the coming zompocalypse, where the humans and the zombies
Yeah.
are going to have to fight, and it's this horrible fucking thing that's going to happen. And once she's not a zombie anymore, she's lost all of her, like, uniqueness and goodness, and Clive's going to be like, all right, I guess I'll just go do police work, see ya. And she's like, I guess I'll just work in the morgue and shit. And I guess
Yeah.
fall in love with Major and live happily ever after until the zombies kill everyone.
No, and that's a thing that a lot of
guess that's
people would
fine.
choose. A lot of people wouldn't.
People are
don't get me
idiots.
wrong. But like, there's also the living forever bit that I'm like, your zombie's not so
Seems like they'll
bad,
live
so you
forever,
lose
yeah.
taste. What is the downside here?
Yeah, I know, and that's all they could, like, come up with for the
Like, you
fucking,
have-
thing.
For an average person, like I have to pay $20,000 a month for brains or whatever, like or
Yeah.
kill people, like that's bad. But you get a free supply forever, and you could easily hold this job for 70 years or something.
And you get to do all this awesome crime, stopper stuff.
And then once you're old, and it would make sense. Like you've been working here for 50 years. You look kind of the same. Good genes. Take the cure then. Unless the cure has a shelf life, I don't know.
Good James, peace out. Go somewhere else.
Pretty
Keep doing
much.
it. Ah.
But like, isn't that cool? Like, picture this like gaming the system wise.
Yeah.
You get scratched. You're now a zombie, and especially if you can just pull the fingernails off a zombie and like it works later on, because who knows?
Okay.
But regardless, if it's just okay, I got turned, I'm now a zombie. Live a life here for like a full lifetime. Move somewhere else.
Yeah, that's what the vampires would do in like
Yeah.
old books and stuff.
But you could even fully reset it, where you could heal yourself, like become human, live like a couple years, do this, then do it
Scratch
again.
yourself again.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I dig it. That's what I mean. Immortality comes up a lot in a lot of like would you rather's and a lot of shows and a lot of bullshit. And everyone's always like, you don't understand. Everyone you know will die, and it's all is hopeless. And I just wish I could be free of this mortal coil. And I'm like, you're a fucking idiot. No.
Everyone you know
no.
will die anyway.
I know.
Why do you have to die too?
Including you. So fucking, it's the obvious choice. I would speak every language. I would play every instrument. I'd have a giant castle made of gold on the moon.
Exactly. All those things better than this week's episode of
iZombie.
iZombie. And I think that's all we have to say about this episode. Any last nuggets to end on?
I'm looking forward to the fucking stupid thing where they confront Donnie and he's got the cure and he's selling it and then he's like fucking saying jokes and then the dad shows up and then Blaine's got the blue brains that he's selling and all this fucking shit.
I picture in a reality where this show actually has an ending, it's that Donnie has like cured all the other people and he's like some criminal empire running his life like la da 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 da, and then like it closes in.
He might cure the dad.
I picture him curing the dad because the dad's
like,
smarter than
sorry,
him,
bro,
having his way with him, and now he could like run that shit.
That would actually be dope. And again, I assume the show will not do it because it's too dope.
Well,
but
the dad's also smart enough that he's like, Donnie, I'm gonna have you killed if you don't give me my fucking like.
Yeah, Donnie, whatever.
Yeah.
I know.
All right, guys. So that's this episode of iZombie. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Don't die in a fire, and we will see you next time.